Let's bring in our second panel now. Gemma Tognini from GT Communications joins me on the desk, and Caroline Di Russo, the host of the Royal Report Sundays at 10 o'clock, joins us from Perth. Great to talk to you again, Caroline. I want to ask you both about the cash situation, the decline of cash. How much cash do you have in your purse at the moment, Caroline?
I always carry cash. I always carry cash. I think maybe it's a cultural thing. The decline of cash, I think, or people saying we should get rid of cash, I think that's culturally insensitive, Chris. And I would like to see cash live long and hard and reign for a good long while yet.
They're saying we might have hit peak cash.
It's the ultimate freedom, Chris.
I think you're right, but it's the ultimate freedom. But they're saying we've seen peak cash, and I've sucked into hardly every. I've got a couple of $100, or I had a couple of $100 in my wallet. It's stayed there for months because no one spends any cash. No one takes it.
I can't disclose how much cash I've got in my wallet because it would be indelicate. But let me just say that generations of my family have been burying it through the garden. Not a joke, not a joke. Actually, there's a cafe in my neighbourhood that when you go to pay, it says, you know, accept this card, this card, this card, percentage of surcharge on cards. And then it says in capitals, or you could just pay cash. And I feel seen. So
do you, when you get a quote from, a tradie or whatever, sort of, what's it cost, or cash money, you go for the cash money discount?
No, I say cash, mate.
Cash mate? and it still works, does it?
Absolutely. There are those of us who have not yet lost our mind.
Well, I hope it comes back. I think there might be something in it. I think, as Caroline said, the freedom of cash. Because everything else, that bloody phone of mine, anybody can look at that and see everywhere I've been and everything I've done. I can't buy so much as a donut without it turning up on my statement. Now, I want to get on to, speaking of spending money, the Sydney Opera House and the sales and whether they're lit up or not. There's a controversy now that they lit the sales up for the World Pride Festival earlier this year, but they're not lighting it up for the FIFA World Cup, Caroline. We have to light it up for everything now? Pick a cause, spray some lights on the Opera House?
Well, we also didn't light it up, and you'll remember, and no doubt you were devastated at the time, it wasn't lit up for the coronation, Chris, because, it was considered an unnecessary expense. I understand it costs, a bit plus of $80,000 for that exercise. And Chris Min said, well, sorry, we're not doing it for the coronation. It costs too much money. There's a cost of living crisis. So obviously some eyebrows were raised when it was put up for World Pride, but I understand that was paid for independently. That wasn't paid for by the government. So look, if someone else wants to put the cash forward to light up the sales, knock yourself out. Yeah. But if there's going to be the new rule, it better be good if you want the government to pay for those sales to go into colours.
It would have been good for the coronation because you would have had like King Charles on the middle sail and then an ear on each other sail. It would have been quite a look. I just don't reckon they should light it up for anything. It's a beautiful white building. Just leave it.
Or for heaven's sake, put some boundaries around it. Like it's just, special occasions only. Yes. Like my 50th birthday, Chris. It wasn't lit up for my 50th birthday. 50th,
yeah. Forget the FIFA World Cup.
Someone's got to be cancelled over that, surely.